Welcome to my blog.stampwithelaine.com. This is a card I designed for my team training in June using the Move Me bundle. The magic happens because of this slatted die cut window and an offset image in two shades of the same colour of the butterfly. It creates a holographic effect so that when you pull the card out, it makes the butterfly look as though it's fluttering its wings. And it's the same with the hummingbird. So the one we're going to make today is the butterfly one. You need the You Move Me bundle. This is the stamp set in photopolymer and the Move Me Thinlet dies. There are 12 dies in the Move Me Thinlet set. This one, slatted window, that's the finger hole, the hummingbird, the outline of the butterfly and the internal bit of the butterfly. So if you only die cut with that, this will give you that effect, and then you can put another piece of cardstock underneath and it will peep through. So this is the negative, but if you want a standalone butterfly, then you place this outline butterfly over it and you will get a butterfly. These two bits cut out the filaments and the anthers of the flower. That's the flower itself. And this odd looking one is actually the sepal underneath the flower. This one is for the leaves. You need crumb cake cut at 8 1/4 by 5 7/8 inches. That's 21 centimetres by 14.9 centimetres. With the long side on top, you score at 4 1/8, which is 10.5 centimetres. You need another piece of crumb cake cut at 5 7/8 inches by 3 3/4 inches. That's 14.9 by 9.5 centimetres. You score 3/8 inches on all three sides, the two short sides and one long side. And in metric, that's 1 centimetres on the two short sides and 1 centimetre on the long side. For the insert, you need Very Vanilla. This has been cut at 5 inches and just a tad under 3 3/8 inches. So that's 12.7 centimetres by 8.5 exactly. You'll also need another layer for the inside of the card in Very Vanilla. That's 5 1/2 inches by 3 3/4 inches. In metric, that will be 14 centimetres by 9.5 centimetres. You need a scrap of berry burst to cut your butterfly out with, and a piece of vellum 1 inch by 3 1/4 inches. That's 2.5 centimetres by 8.2 centimetres. So I'm using our berry burst powder pink and Versamark. About 6 inches of berry burst finely woven ribbon, some copper trim, I'm working from the roll, and a big shot and magnetic platform, a precision plate and one of the cutting plates. Embossing buddy, copper embossing powder and a heat tool. I've mounted my stamps on a D block, A block and H block. First I'll take my pocket and I'm just going to snip diagonally across the bottom. Put tear and tape on all three sides. Bring in my big shot. I need my precision plate for this. Place my cardstock. Centre the slatted die, equidistant between the score line on the right and the score line on the bottom, and then centre the finger hole on the slatted die. Place top cutting plate on top, adhere it with some washi tape to keep the finger hole die in place. top cutting plate, and I'm ready to run that through the Big Shot. So I'll do that off camera and I'll be back. Might be an idea to use this brush to help release the bits of unwanted cardstock. I wouldn't recommend you doing it after you've removed this, because the slats are fairly slim and you could tear it. So do it with the die in situ and then it should come out fairly easily. Set that aside, and we want to emboss our sentiment. Rub my embossing buddy over the vellum cardstock. Ink Kindness with Versamark ink. Sprinkle copper embossing powder over it. Tap off the excess and then heat emboss it. Take my snips and cut about ½ an inch in the middle of this piece and cut a V to make the label tag. Score, cut off at 3/8 inches, around about there. Score at 3/8 inches on the beginning of the word on the left hand side, and put some double-sided tape on it, tear and tape. Remove tear and tape backing. We can now assemble our pocket on the front of the card. So remove all the sticky strip and attach the sentiment onto the left hand side of the pocket before you glue it down. Okay, bring in your card base, fold these back, getting in a pickle here, and then center it onto the card base. We haven't got to corner punch anymore, but just to make it easier to slide the card in and out, I'm just going to snip off all round the corners just by eye with my scissors. Grab a pencil and just make a mark where the bottom of the window is and where the top is, so you know where to stamp, and then you can rub off the pencil marks later. There are two sizes to the butterfly, so we want to stamp the larger butterfly in the darker ink, darker shade. I'm only using the one colour in Berry Burst. So ink up the large butterfly, and I want to stamp it toward the bottom. I don't know how well you can see it, but I shall stamp. I forgot to put the foam mat underneath, but I think we're okay. So this time I'll remember to put the foam mat underneath. And now I want to stamp the smaller butterfly with the Berry Burst. But this time I need to stamp off before I stamp on. I need to line up the head and the tail. I'll do that. I'll rub off my pencil marks. Then I'm going to stamp the sentiments. You move me with your... Actually cut the stamp in two, because it was too long to go across. Out with the Berry Burst again. Now I'm going to stamp the solid little butterfly image in powder pink. And the smaller image in Berry Burst. I cut a slot here for the ribbon using the retired Chalk Talk framelets. I don't know how long ago it retired, but I hung on to mine because I thought it would be useful. Thread your ribbon through, make a loop with your copper trim and thread both ends of your Berry Burst ribbon through it. Tie it tight and tie that into a bow. Trim off the excess, and this ribbon's way too long, so I'll just cut off a bit and stagger it so that the back one is longer than the front. Pop that back in, and that part of the card is ready. And I already showed you how I die cut that, so I won't die cut another one. Pop mini glue dots on the back, and then you can just pop that on the top. I think I glued it so that the wings would hold the tab down. We'll tackle the inside, and I'm just going to stamp thanks. Bring back the powder pink and stamp the solid image. Followed by the darker image. Tombow on the inside. And there you have it. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you like it, do give me a thumbs up. Subscribe or share in Facebook, and I'd be really grateful if you do. If you're watching from YouTube, you'll find the list of supplies I use below this video in the Show More section with direct links to my online store. They'll also be listed on my blog .stampwithelaine.com. You can find me on Pinterest, Facebook or Instagram. Thanks so much for popping by today, and I'll be back soon with another project. Thanks for watching. Bye.